We will be studying transformation of functions, and our focus will be on translations. We're going to understand what translations are and look at vertical translations as well as horizontal translations. A translation just refers to the movement of the graph of a function from one place to another. It could be horizontal or vertical. So when we look at vertical translation, we're moving the graph along the y-axis, so we're moving it up or down. So we can see the blue graph here is the original graph, the green is translated upward, and then the red is translated downward. So let's look at an example of how we can apply these translations. So we have the graph is f of x equal to x squared, and we want to draw the graph of x squared plus 6. So right here it's going to be f of x plus b. So it's going to be a translation on the y-axis. So what we're going to have here is all the y values are going to move up 6 units. So right here you have 0, so it's going to come right here to 6. Here you have 1, is going to go to 7. Here you have 4, so that will be 11, so that's outside the graph. And right here you have 1, and so we're going to go up to 7. So our graph is going to look something like this. It's going to look something like this. So the graph is going to look like this, translated 6 units upwards or in the positive direction. Now let's look at translating the graph in the negative y direction. So this is going to be the same as f of x minus b. So we're going down 4 units. So let's start from here. 0 here, we go to negative 4. We have 1 and 1 minus 4, we have negative 3. Here also we have negative 3. And then we have 2 and 4, so that's going to be 0 here. And then we have 0 right here. And then we have 3 and 9, so it's going to be 3 and 5. You can see that all we're doing is subtracting 4 from all the y values. Negative 3 and 9, negative 3 and 5. So our graph is going to look similar to this. So we have something that looks like that. And then here we have this going in this direction. So that's what the graph is going to look like when it's translated downwards. Now we're looking at a horizontal translation, which means we're moving from left to right. So the only difference here is that in the graph, when you're writing the translation for the horizontal translation, if there's a plus in the translation, you're going to move towards the left. If there's a minus in the translation, you're going to move towards the right. So let's see examples here. So we have f of x equal to x squared. So we want to find x minus 1 squared. So this is going to be f of x minus 1. So when you have minus, you're translating in the positive direction. So we're going to move 1 unit to the right. So here where you have 0, you're going to move to 1. Where you have 1, you're going to move to 2. So it's going to be right here. Where you have 2, 4 is now going to be 3k, and then 3, 9 is going to be 4, 9k. And then minus 1, 1 is going to be 0 and 1. Minus 2 and 4 is going to be minus 1 and 4. Minus 3 and 9 is going to be 2 and 9. And so that's what our graph is going to look like. You see it moves towards the right hand side. So I'm going to draw with a different color. So this is what our graph is going to look like when it's been translated 1 unit to the right hand side. Now let's try f of x equal to x squared. We want to move 2 units to the left hand side. So this is going to be f of x plus 2. So that means we're going to move 2 units to the left. So here where you have 0 is going to become minus 2 right here. Where you have 1, you're subtracting 2 is going to be minus 1 right here. Where you have 2 and 4 is going to be 0 and 4. Where you have 3 and 9 is going to be 1 and 9. And then here you have negative 1 and 1, so you're going to have negative 3 and 1. When you have negative 2 and 4, you're going to have negative 4 and 4. So you can see that we're moving the graph all the way to the left hand side. So let's draw in a different color. So this is what our graph is going to look like. So that's what the graph is going to look like. This new graph is the transformed, the transformed graph is being translated 2 units to the left. So let's look at some examples here. Its question is, if f of x equal to 3x minus 5, so f of x equal to 3x minus 5, find an expression for the function f of x that represents a shift of 4 units to the left. So 4 units to the left is going to be f of x plus 4. So we're going to have 3x plus 4 minus 5. So this is going to be 3x plus 12 minus 5. So we're going to have 3x plus 7. So this is going to be our new f of x. So we now have function f of x equal to 2x plus 9. So we have f of x is 2x plus 9. Find an expression for the function that represents a shift of 7 units down and 2 units to the right. So we're dealing with f of 2 units to the right is x minus 2 plus, actually it's 7 units down, and we're going to, that's going to be a subtraction. So it's f of x minus 2 minus 7. So our new function, let's call it f of x, is going to be equal to 2x minus 2 plus 9 minus 7. So this is going to be 2x minus 4 plus 9 minus 7. So 2x minus 4 plus 9 is 5. 5 minus 7 is minus 2. So this is going to be the function that has been translated 2 units to the right and 7 units down.